Naught. Judge. The night Eva went out in her boat, the storm came in off the sea. It span across the islands in a great wailing tumult, blowing chickens into the air in Astrid, pulling washing off the lines in Tarn, darkening and deepening the sea in the harbour, causing the beech trees in the wood to rend their clothes and tear their hair. It lashed the shore with water, great sheets of it, grabbing at the earth, sucking at sand and rock. Within hours of her leaving, there was little hope. But they went on looking. Early in the morning, islanders were out, walking up and down the coast on both sides of the channel, as 2 Creole fishermen searched the island of Cwen. Texts and emails flew back and forth. "Have you heard? Such a tragedy. They tried. The Coast Guard was out all night." When the storm abated and the deserted main street in Ernest filled again with people, opinions flared. "There's still no sign of her boat. What did she think she was doing? What possessed her? It's awful not knowing. We went to that Christmas party once at the big house. Do you remember her late husband, the minister? She became a different person after his death. She was flamboyant, wasn't she? She was a bit too much. Everything she did was over the top. I liked her. She taught my daughter. What will happen now to the Islands of Women's Study Centre? Not just that, the Archipelago Women's Club. Wasn't she the one supporting Inga at the council?" To some islanders, Eva's disappearance proved what they had always known, that despite her efforts, she wasn't local. Nobody who'd grown up in the islands would have gone out in that storm. It was a northeasterly. The wind was at 40 knots. Not when she went out. The wind got up suddenly, out of nowhere. It could only have been an incomer doing something so stupid. She did other stupid things too. The sort of people she'd been consorting with recently. Even before she disappeared, there had been murmurings. The nonsense they were feeding the young boys and girls at Ernest High. The preferential treatment of female entrepreneurs. The secret symbolism of the island flag. How wicked it was when you really looked at it. The money that became available for the museum to rewrite its exhibits. Neolithic female what? Destabilizing millennia of good, solid island history. Not to mention the books in the library. They'd even installed women's urinals, behind the abbey of all places. Somebody must have encouraged Eva in these insane schemes and untenable positions. In the days after Eva disappeared, women were seen going down to the Islands of Women's Study Centre, one by one and in groups. Not just incomers, islanders too. They walked there, heads down, coats tight around their bodies, cowrie shells in hand. People love honouring the departed with flowers, but these women left a flotsam of seashells outside Eva's office in the harbour. Shells, being aerodynamic, survive the wind scouring better than sunset pink supermarket tulips or fragile white lilies in crackly plastic. Eva had set out from England, but who knows where she ended up? Scotland? Norway? Thule? Despite everything, there were women who continued to say that Eva would return to them. Cwen had taken her. Cwen would give her back. Others were less sanguine, given the circumstances. Some, men, found the sight of all those women with their seashells difficult to take. At the supermarket checkout, in the harbour, on the gangway of the ferries, they began calling one another out. Did you? Had you? Some of them had known, might have just gleaned it in passing from their daughters or wives. Others denied it. Online, lists of offences were exchanged, magnified. They were changing the street names, the hospital too, and the library. They tried to promote women in fishing, in the fire service, as farmers. Did you hear about Pregnancy Celebration Day? It would have wiped out The English coroner made her judgment. Presumption of death. Nobody could have survived out in those seas for more than a few hours. The law had recently changed in England, making it possible in the case of the missing to settle their estate.